show, and we're so pleased to see you this morning.
Absolutely. It's great to see you. We're looking forward to talking about something that actually, it may not be on your mind right now, but it is on a lot of people's minds on a regular basis, and that's the topic of passwords.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you mean it's not cool to, well, we'll get into that in a little bit, but
Whatever you were going to say, it's not cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably not. I'm thinking, I know some swell passwords, but probably none of them are actually.
No. And we're going to talk about how to create a great password, what some of the techniques that we use are to create good passwords, and what you can do to protect your accounts online with a strong password. So, hey, welcome.
So that's cool.
Awesome.
How was your weekend?
It's crazy. So if you are familiar with the state of Florida, you know that it is pollen season. Up north, there are blizzards.
It's snowing.
It's snowing, and in Florida, it pollens. And when it pollens, I don't react to it very well, so I spent the weekend overdosing on Zyrtec. Yes.
Good times.
Very good times. It was actually terrible.
See, I don't have allergies, so I'd rather deal with the pollening than the snowing any day of the week.
Yeah. So I think I'd rather still deal with the pollen over the.
It's because you're sensible.
Over the snow, but yeah. So if I sound a little hoarse, it's because I've been coughing. So I apologize for that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. But we did have a good time with the family over the weekend. Got to hang out with my brother and his wife, and actually kind of the whole family got together. My brother is, they're having their first baby. So
that's great.
So we found out this weekend that they're having a boy.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. So good times. Another Rojas boy in the family.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I think that's the first boy except for your boys. That's the first boy on your side.
Yeah, my first male nephew, and my sister's due in.
Yeah.
Nephew on the Rojas side. How about
Monday.
that? My first nephew on the Rojas side.
Good morning, y'all. It's Monday.
So yeah, my sister is due any day now with another girl, so we're very excited about that as well. And it's spring break for schools here in Hillsborough County, which means that the drive into work was absolutely
wasn't it lovely?
Delightful. It was awesome.
Just the fact that there were no school zone 20-mile-an-hour zones.
And you know what? I am so well trained that I still did 20 miles an hour during those school zones.
Anyway.
Yeah, that was terrible. But hey, you know what? I'm a good rule follower. That is something that if anybody knows me, they know I like to follow the rules.
Well, me too. That's one thing that we see eye to eye on. It's good.
I'm not one of those rebel guys.
That's what other people.
Yep.
So what are we talking about today? I'm pulling up our agenda right here. What are we talking about?
Yeah, we are going to be talking about passwords again. Passwords are key. They are the key to our online resources, our business accounts, bank accounts, network accounts. Everything pretty much you access it with a password. And these days, with so much talk about cybersecurity and so much talk about hacking going on, it's absolutely important that we have strong passwords out there. So we're going to be talking about our technique and our strategy to create very strong passwords that are very difficult for a computer to guess, but very easy for a human to remember.
Oh, that'll be nice. Because I'm sure most people's technique for remembering their password is just using the same password for everything. And I'm sure when we get into the lesson, you're going to talk about
absolutely.
That's probably not the best idea.
And there's actually a comic out there. I love to use it. It's by a website called xkcd.com, and it's on password strength. And basically, the punchline of the comic is that over 20 years, the IT industry has taught people how to create passwords that are very difficult to remember and very easy for a computer to guess. So we're going to teach you how not to do that, because ultimately we want you to have a strong password that you can remember, but that a computer has a lot of trouble guessing.
Perfect. So who do we know that has made this work for them or has maybe not worked for them?
Well, I actually was at a Brandon Chamber networking event a couple of weeks ago, and a lady came up to me and she was just thrilled. I mean, she was excited. I said, well, what's going on? Your tip helped me create a great password.
Yeah.
And then she proceeded to tell me the password.
It's maybe not the next.
Yes, but what was great about it was that she took our tip and she ran with it. Now she's got a really strong password and she can remember it. And it's very difficult for a computer to guess.
Okay.
I forgot it, in all due fairness.
That's good.
I don't go around remembering people's passwords. It's not like it's a hobby of mine. I do have friends who make a hobby and actually a living out of it. They're called social engineers. They're fantastic at penetrating networks, and part of their job is to actually get into people's networks and coax them into giving them their passwords. They get hired to do this by companies that want to make sure that their security is top notch. So I've got a couple of friends that do that for a living. It's always fun to hear their stories.
Oh, wow.
But I am not one of them. So if you tell me your password, chances are I'll probably forget it in a few minutes.
You got other stuff going on.
I got bigger stuff going on.
That's cool. What happens if you end up with a password that's, is it just, the other day I got a friend of mine who sent me an email that had a link to something that was obviously spam. So it obviously wasn't my friend sending me the email. And I'm sure we've all had that happen a bunch of times. But what else can happen if somebody gets a hold of your password? It's not just the spammy email that we all think about.
That's a good question. So most of those emails, or a lot of those emails, actually end up causing your, leading you to, it's called phishing, P-H-I-S-H-I-N-G, phishing.
Yes.
And most of those emails actually end up leading you to a page that might look like Gmail or might look like Facebook, and they want you to enter in your password to confirm your account. When you enter in your password, you're really giving them the password. Now, what's crazy is they've built the page so it looks like Google, but then it actually ends up taking you to wherever, the Google or Facebook that you were signing on, so you don't suspect anything. So what can happen after that? Hey, somebody's car alarm went off. That's awesome. So
Great.
What ends up... Oh.
Is it your car?
No, it's not mine. It's,
Phew, not yours and not mine. We're good.
Exactly. We're good. Although it's right in front of our office. So anyway, let's bring it back.
It's live.
Yeah, it's live. You never know what's going to happen when it's live. This is unedited, uncut. There's absolutely no telling what I will say during this. And as we learned during the rehearsal,
it's okay. That's why I'm here.
You have to keep me focused, or I might go off track on a bunny trail. However, so what can happen after that password is compromised is somebody will log onto your account, and one of the first things that they'll try to do is they'll try to proliferate whatever email that was. So they'll look through your sent items, they'll look through your contacts, and they'll try to send an email that appears to come from you that's designed to do the very same thing that was just done to you. So it'll send an email out to try and get somebody to verify their account, or if the email was obtained by some other form, it may send them an attachment, or basically they use your account to launch another attack. Another thing they may do is they may go in and surveil your account for any kind of financial transactions that might be of interest to them. So invoices that are coming due for you, invoices that are coming due for a client of yours, and they'll try and send them some kind of interceptor. They'll monitor the conversation back and forth so that, for example, if they send you or you send them wire instructions or payment instructions, they try and modify those instructions so as to redirect the funds over to one of their accounts. So really, there's a variety of things that can happen, but the common thread is none of them are good.
So we know actual people that we've helped out in the past that these things have happened to.
Yes, unfortunately we do. And it's a sad thing. And I will give a plug to my bank, SunTrust, and my banker, Miranda Kelly, here in the Brandon, Tampa Bay area. So the reason why we switched to SunTrust, they have a service called Fraud Inspector. It's free. And what I do, every morning I get an email from SunTrust letting me know what charges have gone out of the account over a certain amount. and over a certain threshold. And I get a chance to actually intercept and stop those charges or that money leaving the account in the morning, the day after the funds are asked to be withdrawn. Okay. So that's a nice little plug there for SunTrust and Fraud Inspector.
All right, so if we want to actually get down into it, how do we do it? How do we choose the most secure password?
You're not going to believe how simple it is.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's so simple.
So even I can do it?
Anybody can do it, and it's probably going to be very difficult for me to explain it in a 30-minute broadcast because it's so short.
Okay.
So maybe you can help me stretch it out a little longer.
You got it.
Okay. And while I'm talking about stretching it out a little longer, that actually leads me to what the key is to creating a strong password.
I see what you did there.
You see that? Yeah, it takes a professional, highly trained professional to segue like that. So ultimately, if you remember this phrase about passwords, you'll do well with passwords. And the phrase is strength is in length. So the longer the password, the stronger it is. A computer has to iterate, meaning repeat, a bunch of times until it hits a match for a password. That's how a computer guesses passwords. And the longer the password, the harder, the longer it takes for the computer to guess a password. So when a computer is launching what's called a dictionary attack, it's basically going down a list of known words. Now, a computer can generate that list as well. So a hacker starts by generating the list, and then they use that list against a password. Okay. Now, I could probably delve deeper into the specifics, but that's not, unless you want me to. Yeah. You want me to bore you?
Well, it's not boring. Make it awesome.
I'll make it awesome. So,
all right.
A hacker never truly guesses the password. If they extract, for example, passwords from a database, like let's look at that. What was that online site, that hookup site?
Ashley Madison.
That's right. So when they download the passwords from it, they're not really downloading the passwords. They're called hashes. And those hashes are just cryptographic things, right? So what they do is they look at that, they use a computer to go very quickly and look at that hash and then compare it to the hash of a password out of their list, okay?
Okay.
So they take the password that's in their list, they hash it in a similar way that the password they're trying to guess was hashed, and then they compare those two outputs until they get a match. So obviously, the longer your password is, the longer it will take to guess that. Now, you can also see that it's a very time-consuming and processor-consuming effort.
So they won't just stick with it until they've gotten it?
Well, they'll stick with it. And what's crazy is they actually build, a buddy of mine actually has a computer dedicated to doing this. So they'll have multiple video cards because video cards, their strength is processing complex data very quickly. Okay. So it'll have multiple video cards, generates a ton of heat. You can probably cook on it while it's doing it. Wow. And they'll sit there and just let the computer go through all these iterations until it guesses the passwords.
Okay.
And what you end up with at the end is you end up with a password list. So oversimplifying that process here, what you want to do is you want to choose a password that's long. I recommend 18 to 24 characters. Now, when I tell somebody 18 to 24 characters, well, if I tell you your password should be 18 to 24 characters, what's your first reaction?
Well, that's more characters than I have in my name, or my mom's name, or my dog's name, or all the stuff that people usually pick.
Absolutely, and I have a son named Sam and a son named Eli, so for me, that's going to be very challenging. So what can we do to make the password a little longer? What I recommend is use a phrase or use a sentence. You can also add a little bit of complexity by using punctuation, using it naturally. So where you place the commas, where you use the spaces.
So it's not like, pink with an exclamation point in for the I?
No.
Okay.
No, that's actually probably one of the most easily guessable modifications to a password. So when these hashes are generated and when these password lists are generated, the hackers take that into account.
Okay.
And so what we want to do is use a phrase. Believe it or not, the phrase that pays with an exclamation mark at the end, it's a great password. It's long. You've got spaces and you've got a character. So it adds.
So you can't use spaces in your password?
In some cases you can.
Okay.
So in all of the networks that we build for clients, Microsoft Windows does allow for spaces. Huh. So for example, I'll give you, we had our cloud that we have at our data center, and there's admin passwords, administrative passwords for the cloud. Okay. And so one of them several years ago, we no longer use it anymore, so don't get all excited. But one of them several years ago was, what would you do for a Klondike bar?
Nice.
Yeah. So what would be very difficult about that was not to hum the jingle while you're typing the password, because that would be a dead giveaway.
If somebody hears you humming the same song every single time you log in.
And it's hard to type that in without.
So maybe not a commercial jingle, just for
right.
For helpful
I mean, you can get a jingle, just don't hum it, and then don't make your hint Klondike or something like that.
Yeah.
Right, and don't, for crying out loud, have a xylophone next to your keyboard and play the jingle while you're typing out the password.
That's next level. That's next level. Yeah. My kids were watching Inside Out on the way to camp this morning, and they were singing the Triple Mint Gum song from Triple Dent Gum.
Yeah, I don't want that in my head.
Yeah. So maybe
it takes months to get that out.
So maybe not a jingle.
Not a jingle, but to think of
song lyrics, would that work?
A song lyric would be okay. However, hackers are starting to pick up on that.
Okay.
So make sure you mix something in with that, maybe some additional punctuation, or put a capital letter in an unlikely place, just to add difficulty to
it. Maybe something that's like an inside joke punchline in your family or something like that.
Absolutely. So why don't we practice? Why don't we try a password?
Sure. Okay. You're putting me on the spot.
I am putting you on the spot. We didn't rehearse this.
And now this is why I'm here, because I'm the person who knows very little about all of this stuff. So I'm going to represent all of you, taking one for the team.
That's right. Jessica is here to represent all the non-geeks out there.
Well, I'm a geek, just not that kind of geek.
Right.
It's all the geekier kind of geek.
And to keep me in line so that I don't talk too much shop.
Right. All right. Come up with a password. Why is the rum always gone? That's the quote from Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's a great password. Add an exclamation mark at the end of it, and you've got yourself a nice little password there.
So there are lots of sites that require you to have passwords. Mm-hmm. And in my non-expert opinion, they're not always things that you need to be super secure about. Like some of them are just websites that you need to get into to get a product, but that don't have your financial information and don't have access to your email and don't really have access to anything. You just need to log in. So at what level is it okay to duplicate passwords? For non-secure websites, can you use the same password, or do you need to have everything be unique? Yeah,
that's a great question, and the answer is everything should be unique. Okay. Now, you can use a password manager. We use Pleasant Password Server here at DataCorps. What's nice about Pleasant Password Server is it can generate the passwords for you. It can store them, and it has a full audit log. So if you're in a regulatory environment, you can always find out who got that password and when.
Nice.
So it's a very nice solution, but I recommend that you do not ever duplicate passwords, because even if it's a low impact site, one, the discovery of that password could lead somebody to try it on other sites and then figure it out. But also it can give the attacker some insight into how you pick passwords.
I see.
So that could be used against you later on.
So if they're noticing a pattern or a system, they can then use that. That's interesting. So, I have a tendency to think of people guessing passwords as like an automated process rather than something that someone is intelligently sitting there and looking for patterns in.
Sure.
Is that just my misperception?
So what hackers are going to look for, it is a very intensive process. It doesn't just happen by happenstance.
Right.
So what they may do is they may infiltrate a site like Yahoo, and they'll download their password database, which, as we talked about earlier, is going to be encrypted, and encrypted using a salt and a hash. And again, that's probably more info than you care about.
I know,
but they're going to
download.
breakfast. Yeah, well, that's kind of the same thing.
Okay.
You take the original contents, you put them in a pan, and you scramble them up, and by the end of the day, if you've done your work correctly, the end result looks nothing like what it started with.
Cool. Okay.
So that's a hash. A salt is something added to your password to further obfuscate.
That's a $5 word. Ooh. Well done.
Wow.
Give Angel some thumbs up for obfuscate.
We'll go
maybe
ahead.
Some for me for being able to say it on Monday morning too.
That's right. And since I have allergies right now and I'm having a lot of trouble speaking, we're just going to use the word confuse. So to further confuse that password and make it harder to read. So when a hacker would download that password list, they're going to run their password guesser against it, and then wait for the end result. So you definitely want to make sure and use different passwords across sites.
Cool. Okay. So is there if you are looking for a way to remember maybe a system or a set of passwords, is it okay to sort of choose a system with which to? I'm not making sense. Is like, I'm going to pick a password that's a sentence based on these set of things that happened last year, or I'm going to pick a set of passwords based on around this set of pop cultural things, or phrases from this particular fandom, or quotes from this movie. Like, is it okay to pick passwords that are unique but based around a system to help you remember them, or is that also?
Well, again, you want to be cautious with that, because if somebody figures out how you pick passwords, again, that makes you more vulnerable across sites. One of the ways we've seen passwords and attacks work that way is when websites and when systems don't have what's called an account lockout policy, which means that you can only try the password so many times before you're locked out. Okay. So the way we find out that a client system is under attack is we'll see a lot of lockout attempts. That means that somebody's trying to infiltrate the system, and obviously they're getting locked out.
So we here at DataCorps are actually monitoring stuff like that.
Yes, we some of our clients who have that service, we will be monitoring for account lockouts. So we have a question from Tara.
It says, "What about using symbols in place of letters and things?" Yeah, we talked like earlier, like we talked about if you're using pink like the artist and you put the exclamation point in for the eye.
Right. So you can use it when you're doing a long password, but I don't recommend it when you're doing a short password, because hackers will already have that taken into account.
Cool. Okay. So again,
great question.
Strength is length. Right?
Yes, length is strength. Strength is length.
I'm going to put that on the screen one more time.
Sure, absolutely.
Because you're every man just had a little bit of tough time remembering.
Absolutely. And forgive me for coughing up a lung here, but all that pollen outside. Somebody up north.
Somebody get out the scraper for the windshield, y'all.
Yeah, that's right.
We're having an extra Florida day. I had to
squeegee my windshield off this morning. It was terrible.
Yeah, I probably should have done that too. But when you get 3 kids in the car, there's usually not extra time for squeegeeing.
That's right. Kids, man. Absolutely. All right.
So I really appreciate these. You know what? The thing I'm looking forward to most here doing these Monday broadcasts is I might actually earn some geek status around the office. I might actually learn some stuff.
That's possible.
So that I stop being the person that... See, my role in the company, besides my actual job, is for when they need to explain something, they'll go, well, explain it to Jessica. And if Jessica understands, then we're doing it right.
Yeah, well, we have Jessica and Paula for that.
Yes, that's what I'm here
for. Between Jessica and Paula, it helps us to avoid geek speak with our clients,
which is important because
they really do appreciate that.
Yeah.
One of the complaints that we get from prospects is that their IT company doesn't really speak to them in human language. They feel like they're being spoken to in condescending Klingon.
Condescending Klingon.
Yeah,
that is next level. That is next level condescension. I like it.
Exactly.
I'm going to have to find a way to work that into conversations for the rest of the
Klingon.
day.
You never know what's going to come out of my mouth during these live broadcasts.
Okay. No, it's important when you hire someone to use their expert level of skills to take care of your stuff. I mean, it's the same reason why we hire an accountant. Mm-hmm. We could do our own accounting, but if you hire an expert, it's going to be much better done.
Yeah.
You hire a graphic designer, you hire these people because it's stuff that you could do yourself if you had like an app or whatever. But if you want it to be done professionally, you need somebody with professional level skills.
Absolutely.
But when you do that, you're putting a certain level of trust because their skill set exceeds your own knowledge. So you're putting a level of trust in these professionals, and when you talk to them, you want to understand what it is they're talking about.
Absolutely.
So that's important, and it's something that we take to heart here at DataCorps by having guinea pigs like myself and my good counterpart Paula.
Yep. So we try to test our geek speak against you guys first to make sure that we're delivering the best message around to our clients, and we do love it. Teaching is a great aspect and a great key to what we do here, which is why I wanted to do this live broadcast to give you a chance to ask questions and give you a chance to hear straight from us and get your questions answered live. So we really appreciate you joining us, and we also want you to post questions right to our Facebook page if you have them.
If you missed this broadcast live, add some questions into the bottom here, and we will message you if it's the kind of thing that you need to know right away, or if it's something that you want covered in the next Facebook broadcast. The great thing is we're going to start doing these every week.
Absolutely.
You can look forward to Angel's expert advice and my own, hey, what are you talking about, man-ness, which is how it's going to work. Leave comments. We'll cover them for you next week, or we'll get back to you in a Facebook message. If it's critical, we will pick up the phone and give you a call, whatever you need help with. And I have one more thing before we go, though, Angel.
Okay.
There is some more information if people want more tips like this every day.
Absolutely. So if you see, you can see right here. No, right there. There we go. IT security tip number 23. 22.
Well, it's 20 back here.
And then we've got number 4 above my head. And then they're all posted all over our office. Basically, these tips are actually derived from a weekly email series that we send out to our clients and anybody that wishes to sign up. And it's on our website, datacorps.com/weekly tip. And you see it on the screen, datacorps.com/weekly tip. And it's a short paragraph. And it's basically just a simple tip to keep you aware. One of my goals through these tips is to kind of make you a little bit more paranoid. So the way that we find that a lot of companies and a lot of businesses get compromised is because we're just not paranoid enough. And we as humans are generally very trusting. So my goal is to make you just a little more paranoid, slow you down a little bit, and get you to ask, is this legitimate? Is this for real? So these tips will help keep you or keep that top of mind. datacorps.com/weekly tip.
Yep.
And they'll help keep you in that mindset. They come on Mondays, roughly around 8:30 in the morning, and they're short, they're easy to read, they're not salesy.
Easy. Yep. Yeah. I actually get them myself.
Yeah, you do?
I do. I got mine this morning at 8:30. And, it just reminds me of the blog post that we posted. I think it was Friday, one of the days late last week, that talks about this very thing. It's email. Where are most of your hackers trying to get at you? It's email. That's even people like me. We know that email is where we encounter hackers the most.
Right.
And if you think about yourself as a business owner, how many emails do you have sitting unread in your email box right now? Mm-hmm. You hold up your phone and, I've got my iPhone and it's got that little red circle with the number of unread emails in it. How many? Do you have a 3-digit number? Do you have a 4-digit number? Business owners, we deal with that email a lot. And a lot of times when you're dealing with volume like that, you're moving through it quickly and you're not paying attention to details. You're just firing off emails to get it all done. And when you get into that frame of mind, that's one of your most vulnerable places. And if you're not paying attention and just firing things off to get it done quickly, you're making yourself vulnerable.
Absolutely.
So stuff like this weekly tip is going to keep those sort of security things in the front of your mind instead of just shuffling off with the 1,000 other things that you have to do as a small business owner.
Absolutely. And as a bonus, if you're in the healthcare field, there's a requirement, actually really in a lot of fields, there's going to be requirements to do ongoing training and ongoing security alerts. And so we do that for you with these emails. We give you ongoing training for your employees. And we also, if there's a critical security alert, I try to use this mailing list, not really to market and spam, but to, I want all these emails read. So I really want you to read them. So I don't use this to send you, hey, here's our weekly offer or anything like that.
Awesome.
So I really use them only to give you critical security alerts and critical emails. So, you can sign up and know that we're not going to use it to kind of, get garbage into your email. Because I really do want you to read these. They're very important. In fact, I get people whenever I go to events and they're basically, begging me, hey, how do I get signed up on the list? So-and-so told me about it and I've got to get signed up.
Well, just because you asked, one more time.
Boom.
That's how. Right there.
Right there. Here we go.
DataCorps.com.
There we
weekly tip. And we appreciate you tuning in with us for our first weekly Ask DataCorps Live Facebook Live broadcast. We are looking forward to seeing you next week. Again, if you have any questions that you need answered right away, leave us a comment, give us a call. We'll call you back, we'll message you, or leave us a comment if there's something that you want talked about next week, maybe something that you want to see addressed in a future broadcast. Let us know. We'd be more than happy to talk about it here, talk to you in person. We are here to help you have a more secure internet and technology experience. Because what's our motto here, David?
Honor God, protect data, and be awesome.
That's what we got. All right.
All right.
Thanks, y'all. We'll see you next week. Here we go.